Right. Okay. Go live now. Okay. Right. Ready, set, go. Come on. So we're ready. Here we go. And still waiting for it to go live. And we are live. Okay. Hey, everyone. It's Warriors NRL Fanatic. And tonight I'm joined by a special guest and Sam Revill, North Queensland Cowboys fan. And we're going to preview the round 23 fixture, which is happening on Friday night. So, yeah, before we get into it, actually, before I introduce special guest Sam Revill, just want to give my quick thoughts and condolences to the poor Green, who's unfortunately on Thursday morning around him passing away, former North Queensland Premiership coach. Just like to give my thoughts and condolences to him and his family. And yeah, it's a very sad news that he's age 49. But Sam Revill, welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's been a while since I've had you on, and it's great.
If you can hear me right now, Warriors NRL fanatics, thank you very much for having me. It has been a really long time, hasn't it? Here to talk this round, this Friday night, man. I'm keen to get stuck into it, man. But as you headlined just then, I really hope that you can hear me, fanatics. That's yeah, I was at the Sydney Cricket Ground this past Saturday afternoon with my mum. Had a really good afternoon. Rest in peace, Vale Paul Green. Let's move on to Friday night now, and yeah, let's try to move on now and enjoy the footy.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. A tough bit of news, but we move on, and we look to the what the positives is having footy this weekend, and as a big game this week. First things first, I want to get some questions out of you before we get into the whole preview and talk about the game. For those of you who don't know who Sam Revill is, who are you, Sam Revill, and how did you become a Cowboys fan, and who's your favourite player growing up?
Wow. My favourite player growing up was Shane Oaktree Tronk. He was a massive block of granite. He was so good back when he debuted in like 2004, 2005. And Steve Southern, Bluey Southern as well. He was a favourite of mine back in 2005. And I just simply like the colours and the logo and the jersey, man. Like when I was 8 years old, that's as simple as that. Had thoughts about maybe bandwagoning onto Penrith, but the year later, it was Cowboys that made the finals and beat Broncos in Townsville and made that preliminary final in 2004. So, yeah, that's how long I've been a fan for. Ever since I can remember, bro. That's always been my team. I got them tattooed on my forearm as well, man. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, all right. So, like, who are your favorite? What is your favorite like Cowboys moment? Like a game that really stood out for you in memory. What was your favorite moment?
Uh, being there at the 2017 preliminary final against the Sydney Roosters, waving a yellow and blue striped flag, that to me, next to the grand final, like that night where I was waving that flag was so much fun. Saw people the week before because I ventured up to Sydney to see them take on Parramatta, and then I travelled again to Sydney the week after to see them take on the Roosters, and I saw people there in previous weeks. So yeah, it was really cool to see other people and actually share beers with them. Man, there was a moment where I like knocked at the flag pole because it's like gigantic, right? It's a massive NRL flag. The end of this pole that I was waving, the tip of it knocked someone in the head. This like tradie looking dude, really good looking dude, right? And I knew that it happened. And so I, at halftime, went up to the bar and got myself four beers, came back down, and I gave him two of the four beers. And I was like, sorry about that, dude. Cheers, let's go Cowboys. And he was like, yeah, for sure, man. And then the second half kicked off. And like 10 minutes into that second half, that guy got up out of his seat, ventured up to the bar, came back down, and gave me two beers. It's like, yes, let's go. And then the Cowboys won that game. And so I've had like 4 beers in me, right? By the time full time comes in this game and I'm waving this flag, like a tick has had a bit of a suck, like, yeah, it was such a good night that night, Fanatics.
Yeah, sounds like a always have many fans that have good stories of how story actually. But what's who if you had a favorite player right now, who would your favorite current player be from the North Queensland Cowboys right now? Who would it be?
I have been blown away by Chad Townsend and his leadership skills in 2022 Fanatics. Chad Townsend has blown everyone away, and I think he is top 10 players in the league right now. That's why we're sitting second on the ladder. He's a halfback that's moved out of the Sydney bubble, come up to Townsville, and he's just aced it. So he's aced this season. We are going to play finals football in September. First time since 2017 grand final. And rest assured, if the Cowboys have to play a game in Sydney, I am so there, dude. I'm so there, man.
Yeah, just a quick hello to everyone in the chat. As if I've seen there's quite a few people that's joined. So hello to Peripy, Pro Enzo Vids, Cody Station, and Jason Reed. So hello to all you guys. Hope you're all doing well. But what was your general thoughts like going into this season? What were your expectations of the Cowboys going into this year? Because I know a lot of people, even myself, weren't tipping the Cowboys to go well. But I'm happy to be proven wrong here. But what's your thoughts? How's your feeling on how the Cowboys have progressed since last year?
You can call me a little bit overly biased, Fanatics, but I had them between 6th and 10th coming into the start of the year. I genuinely believed in the young forward pack that was coming through, and I felt this really tight-knit feeling amongst the club when they had their opening back in, gee whiz, I want to say really early March. It was this online thing where they promoted everything that was changing and happening. And yeah, we've exceeded expectations. We deserve to be in second spot, equal second, put it like that. we've had some luck against the West Tigers this year, Fanatics. And since that performance, since that game, look, we took care of business against the St. George Illawarra Dragons, man, down at Cogra. Broke that hoodoo very well. And we travelled to the Bulldogs, Salter Oval up in Bundaberg. Bulldogs have been quite entertaining in 2022. And the Cowboys did start slow in that contest, but they showed great resolve to get back into the game and come over the top of them. And then we had to take on what we took on throughout the week, and then played against the Roosters at the Sydney Cricket Ground. And now we're taking on you guys on Friday night, Fanatics. Now we're taking on the Warriors on Friday night, Fanatics. And we're going to take you down.
Yep. Yeah, all right. So yeah, it's we let's say get into what we are here for. Obviously, it's for the preview, and we're going to discuss the game actually. So, Sam, why don't you kick it off and talk about the Cowboys? Go through the Cowboys team 1 to 17.
I sure will, man. I sure will. So, the North Queensland Cowboys fullback is Scott Drinkwater, Kyle Felt, and Murray-Tau Lungi are the wingers. Valentine Holmes and Peter Hiku are the centres. Dearden and Townsend are the halves. McLean and Cotter start as the props. Reece Robson in at hooker. The back row is Gilbert, Nanai, Tamalolo. Interchange is Tabuai Fido, Leilua, Hess, Neem, and 18th man is Jermaine Noah Brown.
Yep. All right. So I'll just go through the Warriors team list. It's purely unchanged, but there is a change to the bench and their starting 13. So fullback is Reece Walsh. On the wing is Dylan Watini-Zalesniak and Viliami Velez in the centres, with Marcel he's on the other wing there, and Dejan Arce is in the halves with Sean Johnson. Adam Fanua-Blake is a prop and waiting as a hooker. Tohu Harris in the other prop position with Ewan Aiken in the second row with Jack Murchie. Lock is Bunty Afoa, which is very interesting. The bench is Freddie Lussick, Tom Ale, Elias Sikatoa, and Josh Curran is the 17. The reserves are Dynamis Luton Frey, Adam Pompey, Rocco Berry, and Chanel Harris Tavita is the 18th man. So a possibility that he may come into the starting side. Who knows then? But what is your thoughts? What is your thoughts on the opposition team, the Warriors? What are your thoughts in general on both sides?
Reece Walsh, last time we took him on wasn't a part of the team of the Warriors. I might need to be corrected on that, but I don't think when we took you guys on and you guys won earlier this season, I don't think Reece Walsh was playing that game, and I think he plays in this game against the Cowboys. So Walsh is taking on some fresh meat and vice versa sort of thing. I see Vailea and Cozy. I know Cozy has scored 4 tries in 2 weeks. Vailea is a young prospect, but I'm not a Warriors watcher, so I look at the wingers, the back row, the back line, and see young names that I'm not familiar with. So it's like that gives me a little bit more confidence in the Cowboys. Centers in Valentine Holmes and Peter Hiku. And Peter Hiku is coming up against his old side again. Valentine Holmes is top 3 centers in the NRL at the moment, and they're on opposite sides of the field. I think with the return of Kyle Felt, Fanatics, I believe he'd be taking on Edward Cozy. I think Felt, who's been out for a couple of weeks, he takes on Cozy and he shows his veteran qualities against him. So hoping Felt can get him. And then in the form of Dejan Arce, he obviously takes on his old club as well, Fanatics. And Sean Johnson, he has not had the best of seasons, but it was a nice glimpse of what Sean Johnson obviously still can do last weekend against the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. And the Tom Did and Chad Townsend, they've just worked since we lost against you guys, to be honest. I think ever since we lost to the New Zealand Warriors back in round 5, I think it was, in Golden Point, extra time, we then the week later took on the Canberra Raiders, and then our season changed after we lost to you guys. So, I look at the back line and I'm confident that the Cowboys can get your pack, backline versus backline.
Yeah. Obviously, we're looking at the pretty much full strength lineup for you guys. So, that's for me. That is going to be a threat. It's going to be a dangerous Cowboys team to come up against. You got your fullback there, Scott Drinkwater. You got Val Holmes, Peter Hiku. You got as well Jeremiah Nanai, who you probably had high praise around Jeremiah Nanai this season. He's having a great year, and I reckon he should be the rookie of the season for me. For the end, he's had a good season. He's come along leaps and bounds. Yeah, what is your thoughts on Jeremiah Nanai? I know thoughts around how he's progressed this season.
Jeremiah Nanai still is rough around the edges. Missed tackles are still a part of his game, but he's so young. So Jeremiah Nanai has been insane for the Cowboys this year, and I liked what he did last week against the Roosters. 40, 50 meters. Not great, but I still think he was a threat every time the ball went towards him. I think it was Chad Townsend that put up a bomb for Nanai, and he put up a really good effort to get in that contest with Tupou, I think it was. But Jeremiah Nanai, I'm with you, man. He's Dally M Rookie of the Year for 2022.
Yeah, and just quickly, just looking to my seat, put a bit on team, which is the Warriors. Look, I'm not too surprised with the team this week. I think the only surprise for me is Bunty Afai in that lock position. Now, I am not really a fan of Bunty in the lock position. I think Bunty was more of a that comes off the bench. I think Josh he's been our most consistent player this season by far. Actually, I think Josh Curran's had a good season for us, and him not being in the starting 17 is a bit of a strange one. Even though we won last week, I still don't understand that decision by Stacey to put him on the bench, because I think he should be starting a TFO for me. But besides that, I think it's a good Warriors team list with it overall. But just then, and that's just my general thoughts on the Warriors team, actually. So, just into key matchups and key players you're looking at for in terms of a key matchup for both sides, in terms of the Cowboys and the Warriors, and a player matchup.
Luciano Leilua is probably most opposed to Josh Curran. I would say those are the two big X factors coming off the bench for both these sides. So Curran versus Leilua will be like a really cool interchange battle as well. I'm looking at the Warriors forward pack, and I don't think that's a bad forward pack still, to be honest with you, man. But they the forward pack aren't making as much meters without Matt Lodge as they were in the start of the year. I thought their go forward wasn't too bad and things could be worked out, but just the forward pack, besides a game, haven't really won the battle. And I look at that forward pack and I don't think it's not a bad forward pack. So and then moving to the Cowboys, McLean, Robson, Cotter, Gilbert, Nanai, and Taumalolo. And if Taumalolo was available for State of Origin, that's an all Queensland, besides Jordan McLean, that's like an all Reese Robson. That's an all Queensland like back line, back row. It's a representative back row the Cowboys have got. So I'm confident in getting the job done against an underwhelming forward pack from the Warriors in 2022 Fanatics.
Yep. Yeah. Look. Yeah, I think your four pack compared to ours, I think our four packs are right. I think he can match with the Cowboys four pack. Obviously you got Jason Tamalalo, a player that's the players need to look out for is Jason Tamalalo. You got Jeremiah Nanai, and you got the likes of Ruben Cotter as well. It's just I think for me, there's not many weaknesses in the Cowboys team. There's probably hardly any weaknesses at all to be. So, look for us, this year I think we're down there in the stats in terms of least amount of running meters in the comp, which is not going to help us against this Cowboys. The interesting thing is actually I looked at the bench. Hamaso Tebow Fidel. How do you think they're going to use the hammer in this side on Friday night? How do you think what position do you think he's going to come on and play? Because he's been named in the 14 jersey actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still a tricky one. I don't even think they've really shown exactly how they're going to use him yet. I think he is the true Ferrari that's been sitting out the back, waiting until finals comes about, if the finals were going to come knocking. So I'm really holding out hope that Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow explodes, absolutely explodes in the final series, because I think he hasn't had a bad season in 2022. I just think like through an injury and then being so stacked in 2022, Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow, a player that I rate so highly, he's struggling to get into the starting 13, and that's a player that that's a face of the club player that the Cowboys could definitely use for the next 7 years or so, but that leads us down to talks of contract talks, bro. And I can't go down that path, otherwise we'll be here for another 4 hours. Yeah, I genuinely think that the Warriors are walking into hell on Friday night, to be honest. It's going to be an intense, emotional evening. Unfortunately, fortunately, however you want to word it. But I think the Cowboys are going to just outclass and outshine the Warriors. Not to discredit, I guess I just did, but the Warriors, the past 2 games, they have been rather close affairs, Fanatics. So I think the Warriors will probably score a couple of tries, man. But I think the Cowboys will just have too much heart on Friday night.
Yeah, just quick, have a bet. The betting prices have got the Cowboys and the New Zealand Warriors are playing $7 at Sportsbet. So, yes, which is no surprise that we're playing $7 at Sportsbet. But that's the betting prices. But if you actually look into the head-to-head stats, now this is quite interesting. So they both played 40 times, the Warriors and the Cowboys, and they've won 20. So it's 20 apiece at the moment. So a win for
Yo,
one of these
nice.
teams will take them ahead in the win record. And there's also been no
Mhm.
draws. And well, the last meeting, as you mentioned early in the year, was that game where the Warriors won 25-24. It was the Sean Johnson field goal, if I'm correct there. I think it was a Sean Johnson field goal. Yeah, on the 8th of April. And I think that was down at Red Cliffs, and that was when the Cowboys we're just starting to, still find their rhythm. But since then, obviously, the Cowboys have been in great form. They're sitting second in the ladder at the moment. And yeah, it's going to be a very tough ask for the Warriors to get up and get a win here down there at Townsville. And a very emotional, it's going to be a really emotional Friday night. It'll be the first game at the stadium since Paul Green passing away. So obviously there's going to be some, they're going to do some stuff for Paul Green, obviously, to commemorate his. Yeah. So that's going to be emotional for the Cowboys. But quick um prediction wise, how do you see the game going? Like, what is your thoughts? Do you think the Cowboys will get up in a rather convincing fashion, or do you see the Warriors competing for a bit of a set going?
I reckon that the Cowboys on Friday Night Fanatics are going to win by 28 points. A scoreline, what would that make it? 36-8. That's what I'm going to go for. I'll go 36-8 to the North Queensland Cowboys. Anytime try. No, let's go first time try scorer.
Yep.
Let's ride Jeremiah Nanai. Let's ride Jeremiah Nanai. Quick early kick over the top, or some sort of crafty kick. So a Nanai first time try scorer, and Valentine Holmes as well. I want to give Valentine Holmes a rap, Fanatics, man. We're going up in sixes. Valentine Holmes is coming into 2022 on his third season, and it's just amazing that he is one of the best centers, like easily top three best centers in the comp. And you know what? Kudos to him as well, because Valentine Holmes, in my opinion, will win the most points scored for a single person in a season for 2022. I think he's got that locked up. He's like in front by 60 points or 40 points maybe, but I think he's got that in a canter, bro. So Valentine Holmes, scoring tries, kicking conversions, and try assists, and his defense has been quite good. He's having a sensational year in. I should bloody campaign for him to be Dally M Center of the Year, man, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've got the Cowboys to win by a big margin, obviously there. So I'll just go through the chat here. So National Sports Loaded saying here, Cotton Harris up, I reckon. It's going to be pretty physical, but the Cowboys' defense is going to give the Warriors headaches. Townsend's bombs will give them pressure, and agree that the Cowboys will want to come back and win it, possibly have a 50-50 chance for the minor premiership, which unlikely to happen for me, especially losing Green last week. So, yeah, well said there, National Sports Loaded. But for me, look, in terms of this game, I do want to tip the boys, and I really want to back us, but For me, look, I just hope we can be competitive because the last time we got absolutely towed up by the South Sydney Rabbitohs up there on the Sunshine Coast only a couple of weeks ago, and Stacey Jones was just not impressed with the effort and courage that we showed, and we showed that against the Bulldogs. But Bulldogs, no, this is a Cowboys team that's second on the ladder, and it's a team that want to bounce back after that defeat to the Sydney Roosters last week, and make sure they keep themselves in that second spot because they're battling it out with the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks for that second spot on the ladder for the finals week one, which will give you that advantage of having a home final week one of the finals. So for me, look, I am going to, unfortunately, tip the Cowboys. Look, I think I'll say, I'm going to go Cowboys 1-12. I think we can compete with the Cowboys, and I probably will say at any time try scorer, I might go for someone like an Edward Cozy because I think Edward Cozy playing well over the last. He is, criticism that he copped against the Storm, where there's a lot of people hammering him for one bad game, and people say he shouldn't be in first grade again. But he's really turned it around since coming back from injury, played well for the Dolphins, and I think he'll score a try. So I'll go Ed Cozy to score.
Okay.
Look, for the Cowboys, someone like a Tom Dearden to score. And I'm going to go with a Jeremiah Nunai to score as well. For me, it's going to be a Cowboys victory by 1-12 points. Unfortunately, I am going with the Warriors, but Head is saying here that the Cowboys probably just get up and for the Warriors. It probably will be Cows to win for me. But I'd like to thank you for coming on this preview tonight. I really appreciate your time for coming on and listening ahead of this game. But thanks for coming on, Sam Revill. I really would like to thank you for being on here tonight to discuss this game. And I probably don't need to say all because I think you're going to win anyways. But yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I'm always down to talk footy, dude. Thanks for letting me wobble me jaw. I'm on Instagram and Twitter these days. I'm starting to learn technology, and I'll go Cowboys, bro. May the best team win on Friday night. And just a piece about Warriors. The Warriors this off-season, can't wait to see what sort of steps they make towards grassroots over in New Zealand again, see what their draw looks like. Warriors, while they haven't had a very good season, I'm really looking forward to how their off-season and their first 10 rounds of 2023 pan out. I think they're going to be a fascinating watch over the next 6 or 8 months or so, man. It's going to be an interesting watch after New Zealand Warriors.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for coming on, and thanks to all the viewers for watching and putting up with a little bit of my gremlins tonight, which I do apologise for. Hopefully, I can have that all sorted and fixed for next time. But Thanks everyone for tuning in and watching, and go
Thanks,
subscribe to Sam Revill's YouTube channel. I put a link in the description down below. Go check out his work that he does. He does some great content, and his channel